Okay, good evening, guys. Good evening and welcome back. So, I'll share this week one assessment after today's session. I forgot to share it, guys. I'll share it today. And we are posting our success stories on our Instagram page. So, like I don't want to discuss those in the sessions because, I'm previously I used to discuss that in the live training, but some very few, one or two guys complained that, I am doing some marketing. That's why I stopped. I don't want to discuss that. Actually, we want to discuss that to give some motivation to the existing batch guys. So, there will be always, negative minded people, right? So one of them complained that I'm doing some marketing. That's why I don't want to discuss anymore going forward. But I'm posting on my Insta page. So I'm asking, uh, for freshers, I am adding their photos like this. But for experienced guys, those who join with experience, claimed experience or fake experience, I am using these, these images, these kind of images. Okay, anonymous images. Okay, so please follow our Insta page if you want to receive those. Okay, and for freshers and those who are having genuine experience, I am posting actual photos, pics of them.
Okay, Pawan.
Got it, Pawan.
All right. So today we are done with this, right? These concepts are done. Today we are supposed to start JMeter, isn't it?
Yes, Pawan. Correct.
Yeah. So I'll copy it here. Okay. So today we'll have a JMeter introduction, and I'll make you install JMeter on your machine if you are not having JMeter on your machine. So please join through laptop. If anyone joined through mobile, till now it is fine because it's only theory part till now. However, going forward, please join from using laptop only, and make sure that verify whether you have Java installed on your machine or not first, right? So before that, let me open the slides. JMeter slide deck. By the way, we have separate slide decks for JMeter. I'll share it to you after the session today. To those who paid fees and confirm their joining. Okay. So now we'll start JMeter today on 3rd Feb. So it will take, I will take 1 month for scripting only on JMeter alone. So this is the latest version of JMeter. 5.6.3 is the latest version. So once we complete this JMeter training, most of our previous batch students got certified in JMeter Intro and JMeter Pro from BlazeMeter University. And for freshers, only JMeter would be enough. However, for experienced guys, you require BlazeMeter SaaS. This is BlazeMeter SaaS. When I say BlazeMeter, so some people take it as BlazeMeter extension for Chrome, but that is not the case. So this is BlazeMeter SaaS. Okay. So what is BlazeMeter SaaS and all, we'll discuss it later. So along with JMeter, so I am going to cover InfluxDB monitoring tools. We use some open source tool for live monitoring of the test results, like InfluxDB, Grafana, Telegraph, Elasticsearch, Logstash, and Kibana. I had already shared the course contents to you before. Okay. So, however, we will not stick strictly to the course content document. I may be excluding some concepts, not so important one, and I will add some important concepts. Okay. So course contents document is just a template, or it's just a a rough estimate, or what concepts will be covered, right? So based on the market demand, we modify the course contents, or we update the course contents, and that is how our batches are going to till 100 hours now. Previously, I used to take, for each tool I used to take, for LoadRunner 80 hours and JMeter plus combination tools 80 hours. So however, from the past two batches, it's been like more than 100 hours. It crossed 100 hours because we added some more concepts. Okay. So now, having said that, so let me open your class notes document also. By the way, I may upload this session as a public video. So let me know if you want me to stop recording at any point of time. Okay. So as we are starting JMeter today, like I may be uploading this, I'm not sure, I'll take a call once the session is completed. So I may be uploading this session as a public video. Okay. So, sorry. So to, let me quickly summarize or give a recap, like till now, 16.5 hours of training is completed till now, right? Like on performance testing fundamentals, right? Live training, only this is about live training. And now going forward, till now we are not having session on Saturday, isn't it? So going forward, once we start JMeter scripting, if everyone is okay with that, I want to take session on Saturday. If you are okay with that, and Saturday session will be dedicated for script review. Okay. So, like everyone will share once we start scripting, I'll be giving assignments in the Google Classroom, in your Google Classroom. And, everyone should share the script to me for review. And I'll be creating, I'll be giving assignments over here. You'll get an email. Whenever I give an assignment, you'll get an email. So please make sure that those who paid fees and confirm their joining, please make sure that you are added to Google Classroom. Okay, then only you'll be receiving the assignments. If you don't want to share your script for review, that is fine. I am okay with that. So, it will reduce my effort. So thanks for being so kind to me. So, but like I cannot add you to the Google Classroom. Okay. If you are not willing to work on the assignments, so, don't accept the Google Classroom invite. As simple as that. Clear, guys? But if you want to receive assignments, you should work on the scripts and submit for review. Is it clear, guys, everyone? And those who are working, those who are doing job, or like you may not be, if you are unable to do the assignments daily on a daily basis, so please please come work on the assignments, scripting assignments on weekend, and please submit them on Sunday at least. Okay. If you want me to review your scripts, if you don't want me to review your scripts, I'm absolutely fine with that. I don't have any issues. So, my effort will be, I can save some time, right? So, but I have to exclude them from the Google Classroom. Is it fine with everyone?
Okay, Pawan, got it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, Pawan.
All right. So initially, you can share the mails. You can, send the scripts through Gmail. For the second application onwards, I'll make you create GitHub account, and everyone should create a repository for each application. I'll be covering 4 to 5 different applications, by the way. Okay. So I'll start with this online application called the Good Health. Okay. So I'll start with this real-time application. This is a real-time application and a simple application. No complexities in this. No complexities or no, not much of. I mean, we'll go step by step. Like first, we'll practice on simple applications, easy applications, and then I'll slowly increase the complexity. And then finally, I will cover one real-time application like Asmara.com, right? Where you will have more, scripting effort or more correlations and parameterizations. If you are, have some basic idea, or either this application or this application. So I'll cover one of these real-time applications in the I mean, this is also real, see, this is also a real-time application, the Good Health, but this is complex one. This is a Salesforce application. This is a Salesforce application. So that we can you can come across different types of challenges, scripting challenges. So in this process, like when when we start with simple applications, I want I want to get some confidence build up within you on scripting, and then we will step to complex applications. Okay, so I'll cover 4 to 5 different applications for scripting. Clear, guys, everyone? And I will also make you, make you install MySQL database. And because I want to cover one application called, I want to you to make, I want you to practice SQL queries, and I want to do see, for this, for these real-time applications, you will not have server access to monitor them. Whenever you are executing tests, right? You will not have access to their servers. Yes or no? These are because these are online applications. We will not have server access, isn't it? Whether
Right.
this one or this asmara.com, right? So performance testing is not only just about scripting and executions. So we need to monitor the servers and we need to find some performance issues. Definitely there will be some performance issues. So we need to uncover which components are causing performance issues. And for that we need to monitor the servers. We need to monitor the servers on which the application is running. Is it clear, guys, everyone? Do we have Mastan? Did Mastan join today? Yeah. So guys, please don't miss the next 1 week sessions because I'll be covering correlation and parameterization concepts in the next 1 week. Okay. Please don't miss live training, right? So if you miss live training, so you have to depend on again on recording sessions. May not be that much like fruitful. Okay. So now you understood, right? For online applications, you will not have server access. We will not have access to the server, isn't it? So for that, what I am going to do is I will make you set up one application on your local machine so that the complete application will be in your control. You will have server access, you will have log access, you can run database queries, right? You need to know some basic database concepts. What are CRUD operations and some basic SQL queries. Every software engineer for that matter, whether you are into development or functional testing or automation or performance or security, so you need to know some basic database concepts like CRUD operations. Let's say, what are CRUD operations? Did we discuss this? I will cover this software defect lifecycle and like and all later on. Okay, not important at this moment. However, like those who are into any testing, whether you are into manual or automation or performance or security, you need to know CRUD operations. What are CRUD operations? And some basic SQL queries like select query, update query. You should be able to write queries. And this is easy, guys. You will, like, you'll enjoy like our these basic concepts. You need not be an expert in database. If you are expert, well and good. So, however, as a performance engineer, you need not be expert or you need not learn inner joins, outer joins, Cartesian joins, and all those in-depth concepts, right? Anyone remember those concepts? Those who are from computers background, do you remember what is inner join, outer join, Cartesian join?
Yes, sir.
At least those names.
Yes, sir. I remember.
Okay. Right. So you need not, learn all those, or again, you need not refresh all those, brush up all those, or that to that extent. But you need to learn these, basic SQL queries, like how to write a select query, update query, delete query. Because in interviews also they will ask you, can you write a SQL query to fetch the employee who is drawing highest salary from a employees table? They will ask some queries. They may ask some queries like this. So basic SQL queries are enough. Okay. For that, go to w3schools.com. You need not join any separate training for that. Please go through. I think I had explained this, right? So go to SQL and go through these tutorials. Go through, you need not complete all the tutorials also again. You need not learn all these tutorials. You need not go through all these tutorials. First 15 tutorials are enough for us. Okay. So now I'll cover, 5 different applications as I mentioned before. So we'll start with this, this simple application called the Good Health. Okay, very simple application. You'll not have much challenges, but you'll have correlation and parameterization, right? So later on, like I will cover some more applications. If possible, I want to cover this, this Salesforce application also. Okay, I'll try to cover this application also. Because this application I am already having recorded session on my YouTube channel. You can go through that. It is available as a public video only, or else I'll share it to you. If it is not available as a public video, I'll share it to you. I want to cover this Salesforce application so that you can do scripting on if you are comfortable with this, if you are if you do scripting, if you are able to reach to that point, you'll be able to do scripting on any application on 90%, 95% of the applications, or 90%. Okay. Except that if it is some other protocol, you'll be able to do 90% of scripting on 90% of the applications comfortably. Okay, I'll take a pause here. Any queries?
No problem.
Previously, we could not showcase our achievements, our previous batch students' achievements in our Insta page or WhatsApp. So I started doing that from the past 1 month, and we are getting very good response for that. Okay, so basically, current batch students are getting well motivated, and they are continuing that momentum. Thanks, Manvita, for that. So for helping me on this on the designing part.
No mention.
All right. So Manvita has designed a very nice template, and which I liked it very much. 2 to 3 templates, for designing templates for that. Right. So let me go to JMeter PPT again one more time. Yeah. So this is the latest version of JMeter that we are going to use in this training, unless until JMeter releases a new version. So it's almost 8 to 10 months before we got a new version for new JMeter version. So I think still it is the same. So everyone please go to Google search for Apache JMeter. Please do a Google search for Apache JMeter and go to the official website of JMeter, which is jmeter.apache.org. Is everyone on this page? Please do this, guys, along with me. Done? So now what is JMeter? JMeter is a open source software, a 100% pure Java application designed to load test functional behavior and measure the performance. Right? To load test the functional behavior and measure the performance. It was originally designed for testing web applications, but has since expanded to other test functions. It was originally designed for testing the web applications, but it has since expanded to other test functions. Okay. So, we'll discuss that. What all, we can do functional testing and, performance testing with JMeter. So we'll discuss that. Now, go to download releases. See, observe here, Apache JMeter is a open source software from Apache Software Foundation, right? So what do you mean by open source software? What exactly does it mean? Yes, guys. Most of you should be knowing that already.
If anyone can contribute to updating the application or bug fixing in that one.
Right. Okay.
We have got a worldwide support.
Right. So yeah, any other responses?
Yeah, we discussed it's open source, so we can do changes in the source as well if there is anything.
Right. So open source, it is a free software first of all, and the source code is available for anyone. Okay. So some people think that open source means just free software. It's not just about free software. So the source code is available to the public. So anyone interested in JMeter or anyone good in Java. So basically, and JMeter is a Java application. So if anyone is good in Java, you can you can develop some plugins to that. On top of JMeter, you can develop some plugins. You can contribute to that Apache Software Foundation, right? And you can customize for yourself also. You want because it allows you to download the source code. Any open source software source code also will be available for public use. Now, how to download JMeter? If you want to use JMeter for scripting purpose or for performance testing, right? You go to download releases and go to this download releases, click on this download releases, and this page always shows you what is the latest JMeter version. And observe here that it requires Java 8 plus. The reason being JMeter is a Java application, right? JMeter is a Java application, and if you want to use JMeter, you need to install Java on our machine. That is what it means. It doesn't mean that you learning Java coding is mandatory, nothing like that. Okay. So JMeter coding is not mandatory. However, if you want to use JMeter on your machine, we need to install Java on our machine, and Java 8 plus means Java 8 or higher version. Okay. That's what Java 8 plus means. And like I read somewhere that from next version onwards, it requires Java 11 or higher versions. Maybe this is the last version which which runs on Java 8. Okay. So Java, like I think 21 and 22 also is in market, I think, right? So however, to run JMeter, Java 8 would be enough. JMeter this version 5.6.3. JMeter 5.6.3. Please read it as dot. Don't read it as point. Okay. Please read it as 5.6.3. Clear, guys? Now, if you want to just use JMeter for scripting purpose or for performance testing, download JMeter from binary section. Please download the JMeter from this binary section. If you want to, get the source code of JMeter, yes, as it is open source software, it is available here. The source code is available here as a zip file, right? Under source section. Clear, guys? What is the difference between binaries and source?
Binary means we can able to download, and source means we can able to edit, and also we can contribute something to us.
Right. If you want to customize JMeter by writing your own Java code, or if you want to make any modifications or enhancements, you can do that, by downloading the source code, right? Whereas, as an end user, if you want to use JMeter as an end user, like for performance testing, for scripting, right? Then it is enough if you download this, binary from the binary section. I'm downloading JMeter from the binary section. It will take some time. So meanwhile, we just now discussed that we require Java 8 plus, right? So meanwhile, let me show you like how to check if you have Java installed on your machine or not. So how many of you have Java installed on your machine? Let's see that. Let's see how to check, like first, let's see how to check whether we have Java installed on our machine or not. So open it. For that, please open a command prompt and type Java space -version. Java space -version, right? Now, I am already having Java installed on my machine, and the version that I am having is Java 11. Okay. As you see here, Java version 11.0.22. So 11 is the major version and these are minor versions. You can ignore this. Read it as Java 11. So I'm having Java 11 on my machine and it is a 64-bit server VM. Okay. It is Java 64-bit, right? I hope you know 32-bit and what are 32-bit and 64-bit softwares. 32-bit software versus 64-bit software. Right? So 64-bit are, much efficient or much advanced than 32-bit softwares, right? So now, yeah. So once I verify that, if I have Java or not. So I am already having Java. Now, I can run that JMeter. So let me go to downloads folder. Download should be done by this time. So let me cut it from here and I'll move it to your folder. Okay. We have a separate folder for your batch, right? So I'll right. And once I copy it here, let me extract that. Right click and extract all. Do extract all. And observe here, remove this, Apache JMeter 5.6.3, that one, last one. Because, again, it will create a folder with name as, okay, please wait. So before that, let me remove this number 1. Okay. I'm already having, one zip file in the downloads folder. That's why, it named it as 1. You understood, guys? I'm already having one file, in the downloads folder. That is why it, while downloading, so it has downloaded like that. It appended that, 1 in brackets, right? So that's why I'm renaming it. Otherwise, you don't need to rename, right? Now, once you download it, extract all, use extract all, and remove this, this folder structure. Okay, the last part. And now click on extract because it will create a folder with, it will create another folder with this name, Apache JMeter 5.6.3.
Okay.
Yeah, tell me, please. Right? Those who don't have Java installed on your machine, right? Those who don't have Java installed on your machine, parallelly or meanwhile, first, download and install Java first. Okay. Let's see, any one of you not having Java installed on your machine? Can you please share your screen if you know any one of you is not having Java installed on your machine? Recording. So if you don't have Java installed on your machine, right? So you'll get some output like Java is not recognized as a internal or external command or an operable batch file, something like that, right? If you are already having Java, then only you'll see this kind of output, whether it can be Java 8 or Java 11 or Java 21, whatever it is, right? You will see this kind of similar kind of output. Okay, when you run this command Java space -version. Okay, now I'm already having Java installed on my machine, and I had also extracted, I had extraction is about to be completed. So let it complete, and meanwhile let me go to that folder. You can see that it has created one. See, observe here, even though I removed that Apache JMeter 5.6.3 in the path, it created again another folder with this name, with the same name. If you did not remove it, right, it will create two folders, folder inside folder with the same name. So that's why I don't want to have make that path lengthy. Okay, now the extraction is completed. Now by default in JMeter in the JMeter folder, Apache JMeter 5.6.3 folder, you will have some folders which you need to know, like, right? So first one is bin directory. Bin directory are a folder, right? In Windows we call it as a folder. In Linux we call it as a directory. Both are one and same, isn't it? Folder and a directory and the same, right? In Windows, folder is a Windows specific term and directory is a Linux specific term, isn't it? Now,
Okay.
in this in this Apache JMeter 5.6.3 folder, you have some subfolders like bin for binaries again, bin for binaries. Okay. And then you have docs folder, right? And then extras and lib. I'll show you some important folders. Bin is one important folder. Lib is one important folder. Lib for libraries. Lib is the short form for libraries. Okay. Where you'll have, jar files, where you have a lot of jar files and some subfolders. Okay. Now, what are jar files? Jar stands for Java archive. Okay. You need to know some Java basics. No need of, don't worry about that, whether you need to learn coding, not really required. So, however, you need to learn some Java basics, which I will be covering in the training. Anyways, I will be covering in the training. Okay. So JAR stands for Java Archive. I'm from Java background. I started my career as a Java developer. So, I will cover whatever Java concepts required for performance engineers will be covered in the training. Whatever is required only will be covered as part of this training. Okay. So JAR stands for Java Archive. So that is nothing but collection of Java classes. Collection of Java classes, right? Each jar file, it consists of collection of jar files. You can extract it and you can see that, in fact. Okay. You can open a command prompt and, you can extract the jar file. There is some command like jar-xvf, right? And, you can give the jar file name. It will extract the Java classes for you. Okay. I don't want to do that because it will mess up the folder. So I don't want to do it at this moment, but this is the command to extract. And if you want to see the classes, this is the command to do that. Okay. Not required for everyone or not required for you. Okay. For now, remember that, what is a jar file? Just remember that jar stands for Java archive and it is a collection of Java classes, hundreds or thousands of Java classes. Clear? Now, this is about lib folder, libraries folder, lib for libraries. And then you have license folder, printable docs, etc. And observe here, there is once you start running JMeter, you'll have you'll get one more folder created called backup folder. Okay. Now, how to start JMeter? Please remember that first you need to install Java. Without Java installation or without having Java on your machine, right? You cannot launch JMeter, right? You'll face an error when you try to launch JMeter. If you want, you can check that before installing Java. Now, how to launch JMeter? There are multiple ways to launch JMeter. One is by using this jmeter.bat, where bat stands for batch file, Windows batch file. This is one way to start JMeter. Double click that batch file or execute that batch file by double clicking that, and you will get a command prompt like this. This is called as JMeter console. This black color window is called as JMeter console. Okay. And then, this is JMeter GUI. This is JMeter GUI, right? Where GUI stands for, know that, all of you know that, right?
Graphical user interface.
Graphical user interface.
Graphical user interface. Okay. So this is JMeter GUI. We will discuss about this JMeter GUI in detail tomorrow in tomorrow's session. So for today, let me show you, like, let me give a, now, JMeter is running successfully, and by default, you will have dark theme, by the way. By default, you will have dark theme. Okay. So don't get surprised, if you see dark theme. So that is the default one. But I had switched to, I'm already having another JMeter instance, right? I'm already having another instance of JMeter where I switched that theme actually. That is why you are seeing this this theme, right? Or this look and feel. However, by default, you will have this. Let me show you the default look and feel. This will be the default look and feel. Dark left, dark left. This is how your JMeter looks like when you first time install on your machine, right? Now, if you are comfortable with this, so basically this is, this saves power, right? You know that dark themes in a dark theme save power and it will be softer on your eyes, isn't it? But if you want, if you don't like this, if you are not comfortable with this, you can switch to Windows theme. Clear, guys? You can switch to Windows theme. You can go to how to switch to Windows theme means you go to options, look and feel, and there are multiple themes here. You can select Nimbus or you can select Windows Classic or Metal, right? The first one that you saw is Metal. Look and feel, guys. We are talking about look and feel. Different look and feel are different themes available with JMeter by default. I'll take a pause here. Any queries? Okay. So if you don't have any queries, let me go to the PPT ones and let us have some introduction on JMeter, right? Now running JMeter, is a breeze, like it, like installing and actually we did not install JMeter. Please understand that we did not install, we did not run any exe file, isn't it? Yes or no, guys? We had started JMeter by running the batch file. We did not install JMeter. Please understand this, right? We did not run any exe file and we did not install JMeter, but we had downloaded JMeter, extracted the zip file, and we started JMeter from using the batch file. That is one way to start JMeter. Okay. There are multiple ways to start JMeter, which we will discuss later. But this is the most commonly used one. So let me show you, there are some, multiple ways to start JMeter. Okay. So somewhere, I should be having that on Windows and, I will cover like, I think anyone having Mac in this batch, anyone
Yes.
having a MacBook Pro in this batch?
Yes, sir. I have the MacBook.
Okay. So I'll cover like how to start JMeter on a Mac also. Right. So first,
Yes.
once we cover on Windows, then we'll see that. All right. Now there are multiple ways to start JMeter. Before discussing that, let me give an introduction to JMeter. So I'll not go into this because, I had already covered this in the demo. So I'll not go into course contents and, trainer introduction and all this now again. So I'll directly go to JMeter Intro. Okay, let me go to JMeter Intro. Okay. Yeah. So before starting JMeter, let me give a recap. These are the important performance testing tools in the market right now, right? Out of which, LoadRunner. Okay, let me update it. This is Open Text LoadRunner now. Okay, because Open Text has acquired that from acquired that Micro Focus. Okay, so this is called as Open Text LoadRunner now. Which one, this is a license tool. LoadRunner is a license tool, right? So we are having like one morning batch for that. Those who are interested to join LoadRunner training. So we are running one morning batch from 11 to 12. And we started, LoadRunner scripting. We are done with the performance testing fundamentals and we started scripting. Still enrollments are in progress because, I started a new application very recently. Okay. I am done with only one application in that batch. So if anyone is already having some basic idea about LoadRunner, if you are interested to join, these are the timings 11 to 12:30, 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. IST are the timings of that batch. Okay. And this is offline, both offline and online batch, by the way. This is both online and offline batch. Okay. Now, so coming back to JMeter, so JMeter is the most popular open source tool, right? LoadRunner is the most popular license tool, whereas Apache JMeter is the most popular open source tool. So apart from LoadRunner and JMeter, we have another license tool called NeoLoad, which is from Tricentis, right? Which is from Tricentis, which is owned by Tricentis now. And we also have some other tools like performance testing tools like WebLoad, SIL-Performer. Of course, they lost market share. They are having very less market share now. And IBM RPT. IBM RPT is a in-house tool from IBM. And then you also have some open source tools like Gatling Locust Grinder. And also you have some, you have around 20 to 10, 15 to 20 popular tools. K6 is one tool, one more tool. So except K6, all other tools doesn't require any programming knowledge or coding knowledge, right? However, if you want to work on K6, you need to learn JavaScript. It is a developer friendly tool, and it requires, for K6, you need to be good on, very strong in JavaScript. Except that K6, all these are record and playback tools, right? That means, what does that mean? You can generate the script by recording the user actions, in the browser. We need not write any code from scratch. Wonderful, right? That is the beauty of performance testing career. But still, you will get, package equal to developers. Now, this is more wonderful. Yes, sir. You need not write any code. We can generate the script by recording the script, right? By recording the user transactions. However, we need some minimum logical skills to do the script enhancements, to do the script customization, right? So, but salaries will be at par with developers, at par or sometimes more than developers also. Okay, right? If you speak about average salaries, it will be at par with developers. There may be some exceptional cases. We will not consider those. So the salaries will be at par with the developers, even though we need not write any code. Wonderful, right? So that is the beauty of performance testing career. Okay. Now, these are the different open source performance testing tools. Why are we discussing this is, like, if you learn only about JMeter in interviews, if they ask like, do you have any experience on Locust or Grinder? You should not say no. You should not ask them what is Locust, what is Grinder, isn't it? So that's the reason, I am covering these tools, right? So I'll tell you some, I want to tell you some funny story or, incident that happened really. So one guy was attending interview in, one of my ex-colleagues' company called Jansar. Actually, so one of my ex-colleagues was taking interview, and the candidate is not having genuine experience. However, he kept IBM in his CV, it seems. He claimed that he is working in IBM from past 3 years. Okay. Now, interviewer asked, my ex-colleague asked him, so, and he mentioned LoadRunner and JMeter in the skill set. That guy, who was attending with fake experience, he mentioned only LoadRunner and JMeter in the skill set. Now the interviewer asked, curious to know, like, as he kept IBM in, as he claimed that he is having experience in IBM, my ex-colleague or my friend asked him, like, do you have any experience in RPT? Now this guy asked, what is RPT? Now what happens, guys? This guy asked, what is RPT? I don't know what is RPT. Now what happens? Caught red-handed, right? That, he is not having genuine experience. Yes or no? Someone who is having 3 years experience in IBM, they will definitely, at least they will know about that tool. Yes or no, guys? Agree with me?
Yep.
Yes.
Right? So you should know, what are the other performance testing tools, particularly, if you want to keep IBM or, like you should know what is RPT, isn't it? Right? So, like, and you should know what are the other performance testing tools in the market, open source tools in the market, right? So these are the other open source PT tools. The first comes JMeter. JMeter is the most popular tool, undoubtedly. This is a leader in, pioneer in performance testing tools, and this is the market leader in open source tools. So JMeter designed by Stefano Mazzocchi of the Apache Software Foundation. You need not remember this. Just to give an introduction, I am explaining this. And JMeter is the most popular open source load testing tool with almost as many features as commercial tools. not at par with commercial tools, but almost as many features as commercial tools. However, commercial free tool is a free tool only. So, it cannot beat licensed tools like, some licensed tools like LoadRunner at any point of time, or, in any feature, or, functionality, right? So, however, it is a good tool, okay tool for testing web applications, and you can record the test scripts. We can record the test scripts. We need not write any code. That is what I mean to say. We can record the test scripts. We can run large scale load test. How large it is, we'll discuss it later. So, however, for now, remember that we can run large scale load test and view various performance metrics in easy to understand charts. And there is also an active community that makes it easy to find everything from plugins to answers to common questions, right? JMeter user base is large, particularly from pandemic time onwards, from COVID onwards, it has gained more and more market share, because most of the companies went to cost cutting mode from COVID pandemic, from 2020. So from then, JMeter has really gained a lot of market share. It captured a lot of market share from licensed tools, because it is open source tool, and most of the IT companies, most of the clients want to do some cost cutting from pandemic time. So JMeter has gained more market share from 2020. Okay. Now there is another open source tool called Locust. What is this Locust? Locust is a Python based tool, right? Locust is a Python based tool, and if you are anyone is having some good knowledge of Python coding, they will really love this Locust tool, right? With its beautiful user interface, you can easily see key performance metrics, charts, values, exceptions, and other information. Again, it's very hard to find, performance engineers who knows Python. So those who knows Python and those who want to pursue performance testing career, so this would be tool of your choice, right? Because the only drawback is that it requires knowledge of Python programming language. If you want to use Locust, you need to. It is good to have Python programming knowledge, right? So K6 requires JavaScript, and Locust is a Python-based tool. So it would be good if you have Python programming language if you want to use this tool. So apart from that, you have Grinder. Grinder is again a Java-based load testing framework that uses Jython. So Jython is nothing but Java plus Python, as simple as that. It is a Java implementation of Python programming language. So Java plus Jython, they are calling it as Jython. Okay. And apart from that, you have one more open source tool called Gatling. Again, this is developer focused load testing tool for web applications. And they are also having commercial version. They are having both free open source tool as well as commercial version. That is called as Frontline enterprise product. Okay. Frontline Gatling or Gatling Frontline. Okay. So this is the commercial tool, right? So these are the popular open source performance testing tools. I'll take a pause here. Any queries? Okay, I'll take your silence as no, and I'll go to the next slide then. So now let us discuss about JMeter. So this batch is dedicated for JMeter and BlazeMeter SaaS. So let us discuss JMeter, right? So JMeter is the only open source tool that can be used for performance testing and functional testing. So I'm going to cover performance testing only, of course, and it is free of cost. It is as it is open source tool, it is having zero license cost, and it is platform independent, right? Because it is a Java application, JMeter is a Java application, so it is platform independent. It works on any OS, right? So you can run JMeter on Windows or Linux or Mac OS, whereas LoadRunner, if you take LoadRunner license tool, so you cannot run it on Mac OS. You can't run it directly on Mac. You cannot install Vusion, or you cannot install LoadRunner main components on Mac OS or Linux, right? Some components can be installed, like LoadRunner agent process can be installed. However, you cannot do LoadRunner scripting on Mac OS or Linux. Clear, guys? However, JMeter is a Java application. This JMeter, you can run JMeter on any operating system, and you can do scripting executions on any OS, right? So that is one biggest advantage of JMeter. And record and playback feature. Then the next thing is record and playback feature. JMeter provides record and playback with drag and drop features, right? And then JMeter supports distributed load testing. Okay, what is distributed load testing? We'll discuss it later. So if anyone want, fair idea, basic idea of what is distributed. Distributed load testing. If you are, if you want to generate load from multiple locations using multiple machines, there comes this distributed load testing concept. Okay. So we'll discuss it later. We'll discuss it in detail, and we'll have 2 to 3 sessions on distributed load testing. And in the last 1 week, last week of scripting. Okay. Sorry. In the last week of test executions. Okay. And JMeter is customizable as it is open source. Developers can customize its source code. Any Java developer can customize its source code. And it supports multiple protocols like HTTP, HTTPS, FTP, SOAP, etc., JDBC, LMS, JMS. JMS means Java Messaging Server. Okay. These are different protocols that it supports. LDAP. LDAP stands for Lightweight Directory Access Protocol. Right. It can also be used for testing database performance. JMeter can also be used for testing database performance, right? And then types of applications that can be tested with the JMeter are any website which follow or which use HTTP and HTTPS protocol, right? And any web services like REST API and SOAP, and then database servers, right? FTP servers, LDAP servers, mail servers like SMTP, POP3, IMAP, right? You may be knowing these protocols at least, right? You might have heard this or came across this in your academics if you are from computers background. Otherwise, also nothing to worry. I'll be covering web protocol and API testing, so which I will be explaining from scratch, right? So those who are from non-computers background also nothing to worry, because these are very less used protocols. We'll be mostly using JMeter for testing web applications. Clear, guys? We'll be using JMeter for majority of the times for testing websites which use HTTP and HTTPS and REST API and so, which will be covered in the training. Okay. Now, and other types of applications that can be tested with JMeter are shell scripts, it seems. I also didn't get a chance to work on this TCP server, shell scripts, and all this. So, however, these are the different types of applications that can be tested with JMeter, right? Any queries, guys, before we move to the next slide? Okay. So, guys, am I audible? Yeah. Now let us see what are the pros and cons of JMeter, advantages and limitations of JMeter, right? Our pros and cons are advantages and limitations. I'll call it as limitations. I will not say disadvantages. So we have to choose the right tool. That's it. There is nothing like disadvantage. There are some limitations. Okay. Now first let's see what are the advantages of JMeter. So Apache JMeter is the leading open source tool built in Java for load and performance testing. And it is not a browser, although it simulates some of the browser behavior. So we can simulate browser behavior with the help of JMeter. How to simulate and what can be simulated, we'll discuss it later. And JMeter does not execute JavaScript, Ajax, CSS. Need some additional settings to behave like real browser. If you want to make JMeter behave like a real browser, we need to make some additional settings. So what are those? We'll discuss it later. And coming to advantages of JMeter, it is open source first of all. And then it is platform independent, as we discussed just now. As it is Java application, as it is developed using Java, JMeter is platform independent. That means you can run same JMeter instance, or you can run same JMeter scripts. Suppose you developed some JMeter scripts on Windows lab machine. You can run those scripts on Linux or Mac OS. You can run the same scripts without doing any modifications, right? That property is because of because of its that is inherited from Java, because JMeter is a Java application. It inherits all the advantages of Java, right? Java programming language. Easy to enhance the features by simply adding jar files. If you want to add some additional features, you can do that using jar files. You need not write any code for that. There are a lot of plugins for that. There are a lot of plugins. What is a plugin and how to add those plugins, we'll discuss it later. But we can easily enhance the features, JMeter features, lightweight and easy to set up and upgrade. It is lightweight and easy to set up and upgrade. Those who joined, LoadRunner in the morning batch, you might have observed that, LoadRunner file is a 2 GB file, isn't it? Some of you are already attending LoadRunner also in parallel, right? So, the installer file is 2 GB file. Did you observe that? And also you require like 30 to 40 GB of free space in your C drive if you want to install LoadRunner, right? And you need at least 8 GB RAM. However, JMeter is a lightweight tool and easy to set up and upgrade. and flexibility that it offers because it is customizable and it is platform independent. And now coming to limitations or disadvantages, limited protocol support compared to licensed tools. JMeter supports limited protocols, right? Let us understand this in detail. So JMeter is the best tool for web applications, that is for sure. However, if you take any other tools like LoadRunner, right? LoadRunner supports 36 protocols, right? I'll quickly show you what are the different protocols supported by LoadRunner. LoadRunner supports 36 protocols. Let me show you what all are those 36 protocols. Whereas JMeter supports hardly 15 protocols, and it is not a best tool for almost, except web protocol and API testing. So it is not a best tool for, for other protocols. However, if you take any licensed tool like LoadRunner, these are the various protocols supported by LoadRunner. In each column, you have 6 protocols. If you observe .NET, .NET Plus, CV user, Citrix ICA, right? So in each column, you have 6 protocols. How many columns do you have? How many columns do you have? Observe here, 1, 2, 3. Kafka with Kafka 3, Oracle Web 4, 5, 6, isn't it? So LoadRunner supports 36 protocols. I just want you to understand this point, limited protocol support compared to licensed tools, right? I just want you to understand that LoadRunner JMeter supports limited protocols. It hardly supports 10 to 15 protocols, and it is not a best tool for a lot of protocols except web protocol. Okay, clear guys. I'll not go into further deep into LoadRunner protocol. So if you want to learn LoadRunner, we are having a morning batch, which is both online and offline batch. Okay. And by the way, those who are attending offline, we are having some additional edge for offline participants. We are offering something called earn while you learn and learn and earn. So, for offline guys, right? And we are currently running offline training from Amirpet, and our institute is located close to Amirpet metro station guys, just for your information. Okay. And now, high memory consumption. One limitation or one disadvantage of JMeter is high memory consumption. And heap memory issue, heap memory issue is common while running a distributed scenario on single machine. Now, what is meant by heap memory? So basically, heap memory is a Java concept. Okay. Let me explain what is heap memory. So let me go to your class notes document. So Java heap or Java heap. What is meant by a Java heap? So heap is the amount of memory allocated for any Java application, as simple as that. Heap is the amount of memory allocated for any Java application. What is meant by amount of memory allocated? Right? Let's understand that. So for that, I'll go to JMeter console, and if you observe here, right? You see a line called heap is equal to XMS1G, XMX1G, right? Over here in the JMeter console, we call this black color window as JMeter console. Now, what does that mean is by default, 1 GB of memory will be allocated for JMeter. Once you start running JMeter on your machine, right? 1 GB of memory will be allocated from your RAM, from your physical RAM on your machine, right? For now, for example, I am having 16 GB RAM on my machine, right? The memory size or RAM size on my machine is 16 GB, isn't it? Out of this 16 GB, 1 GB of memory will be allocated for JMeter. That is what this, so that is what this heap memory means. Or if you take any Java application, by default, some amount of memory will be allocated for that application. That is called as heap memory. If you don't understand, nothing to worry. Once we complete scripting, I will start, Java concepts. We'll have a couple of sessions on Java concept, Java basics. Java concepts means, not coding, but how, I'll touch base some simple Java programs like, swapping two numbers, those kind of simple Java programs also, or hello world program, or, writing a Java program for swapping two numbers. I'll touch base that. So, however, we will focus more on Java fundamentals, Java fundamental concepts like what is JDK, what is JRE, what is JVM. We'll discuss this in the last 1 week, not at this moment. Clear, guys? Okay, not required also, not really required at this moment, right? So there, we will discuss what is Java heap architecture diagram, right? This is how your heap architecture will be, and what is meant by Java heap. What are the different generations in this? We'll discuss this, theory part in the last 1 week of the training. Okay, so not required at this moment. Clear, guys? For now, remember that heap is the amount of memory allocated for any Java application. If you don't understand, also nothing to worry. Leave it, park it aside. Okay. Now going back to limitations or disadvantages. One biggest disadvantage of JMeter or limitation of JMeter is we cannot run JMeter load test in GUI mode, right? Can't run test executions in GUI mode with JMeter. Okay. When you are doing performance testing, you need to run JMeter in non-GUI mode from a command prompt. This is one limitation or disadvantage of JMeter, right? However, it is a good tool for testing web applications, but not desktop applications and other protocols, right? JMeter is a good tool for testing web applications mostly, but not for desktop applications and few other protocols. And then another limitation is dependency on Beanshell and GUI for complex scripting. If you want to write any complex coding or scripting, right, we need to learn GUI, right? However, it's not mandatory. Nothing to worry. It's not mandatory. I don't have any, I also did not come across any project where I need to write some Groovy scripting, because Groovy scripting will be required, if you are having high user load for intense load testing. But those who are having, large user base, they will go for licensed tools. They will not prefer open source tools. So you can ignore this. Okay. And however, like Beanshell is very easy to learn, by the way. I will be covering custom coding with Beanshell and JSR 223, which is very easy to learn. It looks like JavaScript or Java. Okay. And another disadvantage of JMeter is JMeter's report having less features, which make analysis bit difficult. This is one drawback, biggest drawback of JMeter. JMeter default report will have very less features, which make analysis bit difficult. But if you take any licensed tool like LoadRunner, you will have a separate component for analyzing the test results. You have a component called LoadRunner analysis component, right? Which you use to analyze the test results. Okay. Yeah, sorry, I'm not having, LoadRunner analysis component on this laptop. So, I am using another laptop for, for LoadRunner, on which I have all those components. Okay. We have a separate component for, analysis, test results analysis, particularly with other tools. However, JMeter report is having very less features, which make analysis a bit difficult. Okay. And another biggest disadvantage of JMeter is no dedicated support team. What does that mean? Right? As this is an open source tool, you will not have a support team, because no one is making revenue on this. Apache Software Foundation is not making any revenue on this. So they don't have a support team. If you are blocked somewhere, if you are stuck up somewhere, right, you need to rely on Google or ChatGPT or DeepSeek. I saw one of our student using DeepSeek today when he's sharing his screen, right? So you have to rely on these, or um, you have to approach your friends or experience your teammates, or if they are having more experience. However, you don't have a dedicated support team, with JMeter. Means if you are blocked with some technical issues or some any unforeseen issues, you have to resolve it on your own, right? So that is one. Whereas with licensed tools, you will have a support option. You can raise a support ticket and you can get some help from them, from the support team. Okay, clear, guys? However, with the JMeter, as it is an open source tool, there is no dedicated support team. Okay, so I'll take a pause here, guys. Any queries?
So as you said, it is dependency for complex scripting. So complex scripting means many users. That means like Amazon, Flipkart, these.
Yes.
They have
So
millions of users, right?
where they are having millions of users. Yeah. However, see, if a client is having millions of users, they don't prefer, or they can afford license tool cost. They will not go for JMeter, right? So that is why
Okay.
Groovy is not that important. Okay. Some people do some, show saying that, we will cover Groovy scripting and all this. Trust me, by the time I start JMeter, 50% of the people will stop attending by the time we start, Java concepts itself. Java concepts itself. So, no need of learning Groovy and all this. Beanshell is mandatory. This is mandatory. Like for either for getting a job or getting selected, Beanshell is mandatory and it is simple. It is simple. Beanshell is Java-like scripting language. And you will really love that. You can learn in 2 or 3 days, 2 or 3 sessions, whatever required for us, right? So, concept changes to drive. Okay. Right? But I will not be covering Groovy, but I will be covering custom coding with Beanshell in this training.
Okay.
Okay. Anyways, if clients are having, if any client want to do intense load testing with large user base, they will go for, they'll go for any license tool like NeoLoad. If they cannot afford, by the way, I missed to mention something. LoadRunner is the most costliest tool of all performance testing tools. LoadRunner is the most costliest tool. Okay. And those who can't afford LoadRunner license cost, they have an option called NeoLoad. Okay. They'll go for Tricentis NeoLoad. Tricentis NeoLoad license cost is very economical and not that much high as LoadRunner. There is a huge difference between license cost of LoadRunner and NeoLoad. So if anyone can't afford license cost, and if they want to do load testing with a large number of user base, they will go for either NeoLoad or they can go for BlazeMeter SaaS. They can go for BlazeMeter SaaS, which I mentioned just now. Okay. What is BlazeMeter SaaS and all? We'll discuss it. This will make your life easy. If you are using BlazeMeter SaaS or your client is having BlazeMeter license, even though they don't have license, you can recommend them to purchase a BlazeMeter SaaS license. Okay. It is as less as $99 per month. So client can afford that easily, right? But in turn, like it uses JMeter scripts only, by the way. BlazeMeter SaaS uses only JMeter scripts only. Okay. So we'll discuss it later in the last 1 week. And if anyone is interested to, if anyone can't wait for knowing what is BlazeMeter, I have some, recorded sessions, public videos on my YouTube channel. Those are public videos. Anyone can watch those. I have one separate playlist URL for BlazeMeter. So I'll share it in the WhatsApp group. Okay. And, we'll, you can go through those, BlazeMeter free sessions on my YouTube channel. Okay. So with this, I'll stop it here, guys, for today. We'll continue tomorrow. So any queries before we close today's session? So tomorrow we'll discuss briefly like what are the differences between LoadRunner and JMeter and how to get started with JMeter on Windows and different ways to launch JMeter, right? We have seen only this option today, isn't it? And now there is one more popular way you can run JMeter by using this Apache JMeter.jar file also. Let me show that also and I'll close the session for today. So observe here you have a file called Apache JMeter.jar, right? You can start JMeter by running that jar file also. That this is an executable jar file, means you can run that jar file. Okay. And now, see, you have another instance of JMeter running. Let me close the previous one. Okay. So this is, let me close it again and let me show you again. So you can run JMeter, you can launch JMeter, or you can start JMeter by using this file also called Apache JMeter.jar. And remember or understand this is an executable jar file. Okay. And this is how the interface looks like by default. JMeter GUI looks like by default. Observe here, on the top in the title, Windows title, you have Apache JMeter 5.6.3, which is the version number, right? And below that you have a menu bar and a couple of options, which we will discuss tomorrow. Okay. These are different. There are different ways to launch JMeter. Apart from that, you can launch JMeter from command prompt and using custom batch files also. And behind a proxy, you can run JMeter behind a proxy in admin mode. We'll discuss those later. But these, most of the JMeter guys launch JMeter by using either this batch file or by running this JMeter JMeter.jar, Apache JMeter.jar. Okay, and both are almost same. Basically, let me show you something. Let me explain you something. If you open Apache JMeter.jar, JMeter.bat, you can open by Windows batch file in any editor like Notepad or Notepad++. And internally, they are calling jar file that Apache JMeter.jar only, by the way. Internally, when you double click and run the batch file, right, there is some Windows code, to run that batch, to call that jar file. Okay, as you see here in line number 200. That means when you double click and run the jmeter.bat file, it will internally call that jar file only. It will trigger that jar file only. Clear, guys? So there is not much difference between running the jar file in these two ways by using a JMeter.bat and Apache JMeter.jar. By the way, those who extracted JMeter, are you seeing these file extensions? Everyone, are you seeing these file extensions? JMeter.bat and Apache JMeter.jar.
Yes.
Everyone, if anyone is not seeing file extensions, please let me know. It is a simple setting. You need to go to view and show file name extensions. You need to select this file name extensions. Then you'll see this file extensions like JMeter.bat, Apache JMeter.jar and all this. Okay. So with this, I'll close the session for today. We'll continue tomorrow. Okay. So if you want to, receive updates from us on new batches, subscribe and turn on all notifications on my YouTube channel. And if you want to get updates on, PTU openings, right? So, and our success stories, our student success stories, as you see here. So please follow our Insta page.
Okay, Pawan.
Okay. Yep. So I'll close the session
Pawan,
here for today. We'll continue tomorrow. Yeah.
as you said, can you share that BlazeMeter? How can we check this BlazeMeter playlist here? Can you show us?
Okay. So you can search on my YouTube channel like this, BlazeMeter running. Once you are on my channel, you can search like this. So February 1st, this is yesterday's session. So previously also I had some, I'll share the playlist URL in the WhatsApp group. Okay. I'll share the BlazeMeter playlist URL in the WhatsApp group. I think this is the one, BlazeMeter SaaS. I need to go to the playlist and I need to search there. I'll share it in the WhatsApp group, in your batch WhatsApp.
Okay, Pawan.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So anyone facing issues with JMeter setup?
No,
or
Pawan.
Java installation?
No.
All right then. So if anyone is facing issues, please post it in your batch WhatsApp group, right? You have a WhatsApp group for every batch, right? Please post it in the WhatsApp group. So we'll address those. This one, Jan 2025, this is your WhatsApp group, right? So those, like those who confirm paid fees and confirm their joining are added to the WhatsApp group. So please let me know if I missed anyone. If I missed to add anyone to that batch WhatsApp group. Okay. So I'm closing the session, guys, here for today. We'll continue tomorrow. So good night.